The road ahead, it twists and turns, and the sun beats down and it burns. But I keep on pushing through. And every step quicker than the last, my feet tread down this.
Okay, Charlie here. It's Monday. I think it's June 10th. Let me see. Yeah, it is. Okay, so it's Monday, June 10th, and I'm sitting in my tent. It is, I don't know why, but I'm unbelievably cold this morning. And I need to be hiking right now. I need to be walking. But had a interesting night. I woke up and I was like, what's that noise? And there's my 6:30 I should be walking alarm. And I looked out, and there's about this park has about 15 mama Canadian geese and probably about 150 gooselings, or whatever they call them, goslings, that follow them around. And they had shepherded their flock of gooselings, which are about the size of a chicken, but much uglier. They're the ugliest birds ever. But anyhow, they'd shepherded them up there, and they were all camped out in front of my tent. And I was like, wow. But I have some macaroni and cheese reconstituting. I'm fixing to eat me a pouch of macaroni and cheese. And then once I get done with that, I'm throwing everything in the backpack, and we're going to see how the feet do. A little concerned. I walked over to the ranger station and back, which is about 5.5 miles, yesterday, and to pay for my campsite. My toes were burning a little bit, but I think that's more, I have blisters that literally have blood inside of them. They blistered so deep, and so it's going to take a week or two before those fully heal up. I didn't feel like I was aggravating them anymore. And while it hurt a little bit, it's not nothing like it was last week. And so I'm going to pack up and see if I can have a good day. The day of hiking here, I'm going to dedicate it to Scott Benham. He helped me out so much. I'm going to give him a day of hiking. We'll see if I can make my goal. My goal today is Columbus, Nebraska. And I think it's 27 miles, but that's not too bad. It's not, and if the ground is as flat as it is here, I'll make that standing on my head. I might even go further. If it gets hilly like it was in Iowa, I may have some issues with Nebraska too. No, but it seems awful flat. Interesting phenomenon. I know which way's east and I know which way's west, north, and south, but the whole world seems backwards to me. It seems like the direction I'm going to be walking is opposite of the direction I will actually be walking. I don't know where my sense of direction flipped around, but that's a whole interesting science in and of itself. I'll get back with everybody and let you know. I'm looking forward to a good day. I can't even start to tell you how much I'm disapproving of this GoPro. I have massive buyer's regret here. It's doing something. I don't know if it's the memory card that's causing the issue or if it's the GoPro itself, but I made sure I downloaded all the files off of it and reformatted the memory card, and it kept doing it. But it turns itself off after about 5 or 10 seconds. It seems to be working right now. I took the battery out and waited 20 seconds and put the battery back in. But, it's not a high quality piece of electronics if you have to pull the battery out periodically to restart the thing, which I seem to have to do at least once a week. I'll check back with you as I run across things that need to be talked about. I'll see if I can get this GoPro functioning. Y'all have a good day. Okay, still walking. The road has gotten a lot better. The whole first part was absolutely terrifying. I had about a 18-inch shoulder to walk on, and there's tall grass right off the shoulder, so you had to kind of stay up on that little 18 inches, and the lanes were narrow, and that put you right almost on traffic. I'm walking into the traffic today. Last couple of weeks I spent all the time walking with traffic. This is a little better. I can at least see them coming when those shoulders are super narrow. I'll be honest with you, I got off the road for a while and walked along the railroad track. That it was just too terrifying to walk on the road itself. So, still making good progress. Well, I'm in a cottonwood grove in Schuyler, Nebraska. It's a very pretty little campground. The cottonwood trees here are enormous. I got kind of an affinity for cottonwood trees. My grandmother had a cottonwood tree in her yard, and we used to climb it and everything. And every time I see a cottonwood tree, I think about that tree. They're messy trees. Boy, it's these things. The ground in some places looks like when you're going up to Lubbock during harvest season. There's just that white, fluffy, cottony stuff everywhere. And anyway, I've made it to camp. I didn't get near as far as I wanted to go today. But I think I was over ambitious. I was wanting to make Columbus, Nebraska, but Columbus, Nebraska was actually, I didn't realize this until I ran it on Google Maps about 3 miles after I left camp, that it was actually going to be a 44-mile hike. And I don't have that in me right now. Not at all. And anyway, and so I hoofed it. I was doing really good this morning. I was making some miles. And by the time I got to North Bend, my feet were starting to burn pretty good. And I got a blister on the ball of my foot. And I think it was already there. It's just I aggravated it again. The backpack is definitely carrying better now that it's lighter. And, you know, this is kind of a unusual town. This town in some ways feels more like an agricultural Odessa. It's a beautiful camp, and I'm probably gonna, I'm in a little early. It's about 7:30. I'd intended to hike until about 8:30 or 9, and I just didn't have it in me. So feet are killing me again. But I think if I just stay off of them tonight, they'll be good again to go in the morning. I'm probably going to start resting a little more often and seeing if I can, if taking the load off of them periodically. I did notice today that when I changed my socks, they quit hurting for about an hour. And so I may be having sock problems too. And so I'll wait till I get to... Anyway, I think I'll wait till I get to Kearney, and hit the Cabela's there. I think in my other video I said they had Grangers. I don't know why I thought Grangers. Cabela's what they are. They're like evidently the headquarters for Cabela's is there, and they've got a huge Cabela's. And so when I make it there, I'm probably gonna, if I make it there, I may check out Columbus and see if they have some kind of sporting goods store and see if I can't upgrade socks. Because if it's socks that are causing this problem, I'm going to be really upset because I thought it was the boots. But I'm not sure if it's not the boots and the socks. The boots trash my feet, and now the socks are just aggravating them. And so we will see. I hope everybody has a good evening. And I, am going to keep on trucking. I had a weird thing happen today. It's one of those somebody who knows one of the 100 people that are friends with you or something like that. But I'm going along there, and I jumped off the road and was walking down the railroad siding. Now, walking down the railroad,
sighting is a little tough because it was basically ballast, that, chunky rocks that had been filled in with dirt. And it was a pretty smooth road, but it was a lot better than walking on the shoulder of the highway. The shoulder of the highway was absolutely terrifying at first. It's gotten better, but at first it was like maybe 18 inches wide and the grass was about knee deep if you stepped off of it. So you really didn't have much of a choice but to walk within that 18 inches. But anyway, I was going along the railroad siding. There were some guys working on it. And this guy gets out of his front end loader and comes up and goes, "Are you the guy that's walking the Mormon Trail across the country?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I saw about that on Facebook." And I'm like, "Oh, well, I don't know who you're friends with." The only thing I can figure is this guy must be friends with somebody I've met up here. Probably Scott. He seems to know a lot of people. And anyway, and so, some of the people up here that are linking the videos onto their page might be where he gotten that information, but he took a card and everything, and so we'll see if I'm the one he was thinking of. I don't know if somebody else is doing this, and or anything else, because I have had, I don't know where he would have gotten that, but anyhow, everybody have a good evening.